Welcome back, America. If the term you've been hearing a lot lately, reapportionment war, sounds like something bad from Star Wars or some strange sci-fi movie, it's not. It's the current big battle in the political world today. States trying to squeeze out more Republican or Democrat districts depending on their leadership. Well, a big blow was struck last night when Gavin Newsom, the California governor, got a referendum passed by the California people to basically squeeze out a whole bunch of Republican districts, make them extinct. Joining us now to explain that, its legality, and where it may go, is legal expert and host of the What's Right show, our good friend, Sam Mirjavsky. I said it, I messed it up. Sam, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, John. Great to see you guys.
I'm sorry, I got a cold going on here. I apologize. All right, so Prop 50 passed. I wonder if the first strike against this isn't even a political strike, but the Justice Department, someone like Harmeet Dillon coming in and saying, wait a second, this doesn't actually serve the people of California.
Well, that's, of course, one way they can go. And another, lawsuit was filed today, alleging that this is a violation of racial, gerrymandering. Anyway, there are some legal challenges here. I think they are a little thin, perhaps.
Okay.
I certainly think this thing also passed by a huge margin. So I thought if it was going to be a tight race, maybe, challenging some of these funny ballots and things that we have in California ought to have been a way to go. But I don't think it's all in the bag for Democrats. Like, this is not a certainty to pick up 5 extra seats. They still have to win in these districts. And
right.
I don't think that's a foregone conclusion.
That's a good point.
Sam, I know that gerrymandering / redistricting, depending on who you're talking about and who's doing the talking. I know that this is a hot topic right now, but someone did a study where they determined that if every state maxes out their ability to gerrymander or redistrict, Republicans net 12 to 16 seats. So shouldn't Democrats tread lightly in all of these states where they're trying to do this?
Well, of course, right? Because overall, Democratic states, blue states, are already gerrymandered extremely, right? So the Democrats didn't have very many districts nationwide to squeeze for more votes. So I think that's a great point, and one that is not appreciated. One thing about Prop 50, I think it was always designed to propel Gavin Newsom to the Democratic ticket in 2028. So this has been the launching point for his campaign. So there's an element of political theater to it. But also back to just the subject of these new districts. And there you have it on the screen. You can see how they've really stretched these districts to include, just enough Democrats to make it a problem for Republicans. But I'm in our Newport Beach office today, and this is a district that got split in 2. Newport Beach, very conservative. Huntington, very conservative. And so one thing that they did was they basically took the existing district and attached it to Long Beach, which is a bluer district. Certainly, Ray Garcia there is the congressman. And I do have some news today, and that is that a very popular mayor here in Newport Beach, Noah Von Blom, is running. He's going to run as the Republican. He is very popular. He is a candidate that has, I think, cross-party appeal. He's not your typical Republican candidate that they've run in California. He's young, he's energetic, and he's going to run in the 42nd district. And if he does that, he's going to give Ray Garcia a run for his money. So again, back to to my original point here, I don't think any of this is in the bag for Democrats, and some of it could end up backfiring and even not producing the result that they intended.
Yeah, that's a great point, Sam. Yeah. I want to ask real quickly a little bit about where else this movement goes next. Right, California's done it, Maryland's done it, Virginia's doing it. Where can Republicans squeeze out some more Democrat seats, perhaps?
Well, there's been some talk in other states, in Ohio, there's probably about 3 or 4 states where Republicans could get an extra seat or 2. Utah just did it themselves, and they've got a couple of 2 or 3 extra seats that they claim they're going to be able to get there. But again, I mean, in terms of on the other side, there's not that many places where Democrats can get more votes. some of these states, you look at Connecticut, you look at you look at blue states, virtually any blue state, fully 100% blue districts, Democrat districts in states where there are 30%, 25%, 30% Republicans. So I think this will be interesting. And plus, there's the case before the Supreme Court on racial gerrymandering, on the Voting Rights Act. That's the case to follow. If the Supreme Court, and it seemed from the questioning that they were not, they were open to striking this down. If they do strike down the racial gerrymandering component of the Voting Rights Act, all of a sudden there are districts in certainly one or two in the South that are going to go away and favor Republicans. So that's another thing to watch, and that would happen in advance of the midterms.
Yeah. I want to ask you about something that, while it wasn't specifically on the ballot, it certainly was a topic of conversation and something that Democrats used in last night's elections, and that is President Trump's tariffs and decisions out of the Supreme Court today. Tell us what you think.
Well, the justices seem to be grilling the Trump attorneys, the administration attorneys, pretty strongly about it. And I think conventional money now, based on how the questioning went, was the belief that it's going to be remanded down to the lower courts and to give some kind of a bright line rule on where the presidential authority on tariff lies and where it ends. So I'm expecting, based on what I saw today, that Trump will not be handed, a president will not be handed plenary authority to set tariffs, and of course that's going to have some impact on foreign policy but it may quiet also some people on the other side who claim that the Supreme Court is just in Trump's back pocket. So we'll see how this shakes out.
Rubber stamp.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point. Sam Rajovsky, it is a great honor. I love your show, the What's Right Show. Folks, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. You get lots of wisdom like you just got. Thanks for having you on today, buddy. It was good to get you. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about the pattern behind every major financial collapse. Are there signs we could be headed for another one? That's after this quick break.